Yeehaw! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond. How to get out of Babylon, Flat Earth Homeland, all them other things I like to see, like to think of and think going on. On the subject of thinking and imagining and creating, I won't go into that. I've seen some of those things happen. I'll just leave it at that. Maybe talk about it some other time, but right now I need to read the book and get to sleep. Got some things going on tomorrow I need to keep up with. Oh, updates. I forgot two things. Shannon made it here with Sister Sue's stuff, at least most of her stuff. She might be able to go back and get more later. But and then also Kenneth Lachlan was moving today, I believe it was, down to Lake of the Ozarks. So he's not going to be very far from us. Love to get together sometime. So I'm hoping that he'll. Just a shout out to him. He's been a good subscriber for a long time. A lot of good comments. So I'm just really glad they're doing that, and just pray the best for them. Be praying for them that they find they pulled the plug. Hallelujah. I mean, that's what you got to do. When people say they're a believer, and well, what do you believe? Do you believe enough to make a change in your life like Abraham did? Abraham, go. Okay. Abraham, guess what? Went. Noah, build an ark. So he did. He built an ark. And he preached. He worked on that ark and preached for 120 years, and nobody listened to him. So one guy gave me a hard time at after my the Kangaroo Court Inquisition, where they had a trial and found me guilty in absentia of any kind of statement, any witnesses, any accusations, even any accusations. And anyway, been over that before. But this one guy said, when you think you're leading and you look back and nobody's following, you're just going for a walk. And I'll pull up sometime the email that I wrote back, because I said, if my family's not behind me and nobody's behind me, then you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to turn around and walk the other direction. I'm going to keep going, because God and one is a majority. And it's my belief that God has given men the insight and the vision to see the future and to prepare for it. And if nobody's following me, that's not my fault. It's their fault. Like my granddaughter said, good people are going to die right along with the bad people. When the Tower of Siloam fell, it fell on the just and the unjust. It's just a fact of life. When judgment happens, a lot of bad people die. Hopefully more bad people than good people, but a whole lot of good people die. And she said, that's what Jesus said. And then she said, they were good people, Grandpa. They were just dumb people. So don't be dumb people. All right. So be prayed for people. A lot of them. A lot of people. I got a text today from a Sister Carol. I apologize if you watch my videos, Carol. I haven't even had a chance to read it yet. I'm so sorry. Bonnie, pray for her. She is driving, taking her, kind of a scenic route. Take her time, and that's fine. I mean, man, she's from another country, and she might as well see the United States once before it goes to hell in a handbasket. So, Hanging Lake, if you're out there watching or listening, har. But Hanging Lake, Shannon did a video from Glenwood Canyon. Well, Hanging Lake is just absolutely, one of the most beautiful hikes you'd ever take in your life. And you go up to this lake is basically hanging up in nowhere. And I whipped out my fishing pole and started fishing. I threw it in. I got a trout in like 5 seconds. And somebody said, hey, that's illegal. And I went, okay. So I pushed it away, stashed it away real quick. Put the fish back in. All right. Down on the Farm, Part 1. John heard the dog start barking, so he stepped out on the front porch. The van from the university was at the gate, and Anne was just getting out. He went through the gate, then gave his wife a big hug and a kiss. Picking up her bag, he said, "Lisa said something about Luke coming this weekend? He changed his mind?" His wife replied, "No, he came with me. He just needed to see the Strickland, so he had the driver drop him off there. He brought out Ellie's new arthritis medicine from town. He should be here in an hour or so, I think. He'll probably take a look at the man Ed shot too if he's still at their house." He nodded his head and they went into the house, shutting off the chill of the evening. In the dining room, Lisa was helping the girls bring supper to the table. Robert came in from the barn, and after everyone had washed their hands, the family sat down. Anne asked, "Shouldn't we wait for Luke?" Lisa replied, "No. When he called this afternoon, he said he wanted to talk to the Stricklands when he dropped off Ellie's new meds. No point in making the family wait an hour waiting on him to show." Grace was spoken, and the family set into their supper. Presently, the conversation turned to matters in town, and Anne said the university is getting ready to start classes again. There's talk they might start in November, but the provost says they'll probably wait until the new year when fuel and food shipments should have settled into something stable. No one's sure how the money end is going to work with the federal government in disarray and the bank still not reopened. He did say there was going to be a lot more work study requirements for students, and they'd be doing a lot more practical day-to-day work than before. Sounds like the university is trying to save on labor costs. No one knows yet how big the hit to their funding is going to be, but it's going to be very big. The ag colleges are going to be important again, much more so than they have been for many years. The engineering school is gearing up too. Come Monday when the van comes to get me, it may not be burning petroleum at all. Robert asked, "What's it going to be using, coal?" Anne said, "Close. They very nearly got 3 wood-burning vehicles ready to go. They're trying to work up a means to run one on methane too." John asked, "These wood burners powering a steam boiler, or are they using the combustion gases directly?" "Direct combustion is my understanding. Wood is heated and the gases it gives off are then burned in a motor. I saw one from a distance yesterday as they were making test runs. Strange looking sight to see a school bus with a furnace on the back belching smoke. I understand they're trying to build a steam-driven model as well." Her husband shrugged. "Well, I suppose for at least a medium-term solution it might help with the petroleum shortage we're having now, but I can't see how they'll compete when the ports and pipelines reopen. I would like to see them in action, though. You said they were working with methane again? Are they producing it themselves?" She nodded her head. "Yes, everyone still has to go, so there's no shortage of the raw material. The mechanical engineering types are cooperating with several of the ag faculty on that project to build expedient small methane generators and convert stationary power plants to burn it. Mobile power plants like trucks are more difficult because of trying to store the gas. There was a lot of work in this area done back in the 70s, but it all died out in the early 80s. The books and papers are all still in the library collections, though, so they're digging them out and updating them." John took a forkful of beans and considered for a moment. "It seems to me that with 7 people and the livestock here, we've got plenty of raw material necessary for producing the gas. If they have a good small-scale design that could be used on a small farm, could you bring us copies?" "I don't know. I don't work with them, but I can investigate. If they come up with a viable design, they're going to need to farm it out for hands-on and that sort of thing. Maybe we could build one of our own. Maybe we could store it in our LP tank."